How I learned to let sleeping dogs lie. I'm new here, so there's that. Apologies for any grammatical errors too. Anyway, I am going to try to make this make sense as it was a long time ago. This is a true story and I am sure it's just a coincidence, but it still gives me chills sometimes. Gonna try my best to recall it. This story is also why I stopped looking for ghosts. When I was a teenager fresh off of the ghost phase thanks to YouTube lol, I decided I wanted to see if they were real. I bought some cheap equipment, downloaded some apps, and used it whenever I could. Of course for a few months, I found nothing. A few spots where EMF I think that is what it was would spike, but 9-10 times it was near a device or just a glitchy reading. So summer comes and my grandmother and I take our yearly road trip down to see family. Towards the end of it, we stop at her brother's house. Call him Uncle B. Uncle B had just married his wife, let's call her Tia. They're in their 80s at this point but very much alive and happy. We spend the rest of the day chatting and catching up with old family members. Uncle B's only grandson, my cousin, had just ended his life a year before, so things were a little difficult and it was a tiring day. Towards the evening we had dinner with our new step-cousins and got to know everyone over some sushi yum. Eventually, I was put in the guest room farthest from the kitchen. I woke up later that night and needed water badly, so I went to grab a water bottle because their water filter doesn't work well. As I entered the kitchen I swear I saw a figure of a woman for a second. I nearly threw my phone but of course, it was barely in the corner of my eye, so I convinced myself I was seeing things. I grabbed a few water bottles so I wouldn't have to go back at night just to be safe. Later the next day after another dinner of extended family I was able to sneak off with my gear. I went to the one room I had not been shown in the house, which was the master bedroom. I began to set up the two pieces I had and walked around trying to get a reading before anyone noticed I was in there. I had already scanned most of the house and there were only a few blips but nothing to suggest that there were any ghosts. At this point, I was frustrated too because I had never been able to pick something up. That was when I went to the bed. As I scanned it picked up readings. The blips and scanner seemed to show a feminine figure on the left side of the bed. The thing was designed to compile the blips into blobby shapes or whatever. I was terrified. The blips got closer and closer once I asked if someone was there. Once I felt the cold air I booked it out of the room. I ran to my grandma to tell her that I had picked up a reading and explained what I saw. Then she immediately dragged me into another room. She then explained to me that under no circumstances was I supposed to tell Uncle B. When I asked why my stomach dropped, that was exactly where Uncle B's first wife died. The exact same spot.